Yells. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Your Music Live here on Studio Live today. I hope you're doing well. I thought I'd kick us off with something rocking. And I know it's rocking because it's my song from my band Fear Cut. It's called What You Deserve. Let's take a quick listen and then we'll say g'day and get stuck into the show.
It's hard to choose. Never had a heart of gold, so it don't matter just what you sold. Throw away what others need. You cause pain while others bleed out. You better watch out for what you wish for, 'cause if you're not too careful, you just might get what you deserve.
Yells, you better watch out, or you might get what you deserve. Hopefully what you deserve is good things, and hopefully what you are in the mood for is an hour, maybe 2 hours. We go a while on this show because you folks share so much good music that I'm struggling to play it all in a short period of time. So we are going to kick in to the show in just a moment. But if it's your first time here, who am I? What is this? My name is Pete. This is Studio Live today. On this channel, I help you with tips and tricks and tutorials and live streams all about creating, recording and releasing your best music. So this show is your time to shine. This is your opportunity to share your music with not only me, but the entire Studio Live Today community. The reason that that's so important is it's the best way to learn. This isn't a showdown. This isn't a hot or not. This isn't a telling you what you're doing wrong. Well, it might be a little bit of that, but this is helping others out. This is listening to music so we can learn from it, what worked, and we can provide feedback. We can help each other learn and develop and get better at creating music. Let's say good day to the kind folks who are here live. We have Mr. Tom Rochelle is here, Archie, Darren Dadalook, Dragon Mobile Gaming, Andrew Goldsby, Noah is here, SM Borthwick is here, Stu Cash, hello to you, Elijah Johnson, Russ de Summer, Battalion 58, BT48S, Jade Star's here, Cody Brady's here, Patrick Chandler, Aramasia, Blast from the Past, hello to you, my friend, 1000 watts. I think I've covered everyone. If I've missed your name, I'm sorry. Tony DeForce, I saw you here. I saw you here early. Gary Hubbs is here as well. Nick Pillsgard Jensen. Thank you everyone for being here. We are going to crack on with the show because we got so much music to get through here today that I don't want to dilly-dally. Let's bring up our first track, and this is one from someone who has been around the channel a while. Very, very strong supporter of Studio Live Today. Very great community member of many of the places I hang out online, Create, Record, Release group in particular. His name's SM Borthwick. He's here in the chat. So let's bring up this track. Now I've realized I didn't have my email. He did send me an email with some info about this one. So let's read the email first. So SM Borthwick says, I've just released a new song on via DistroKid. Be very grateful if you'd check it out and consider giving it a spin on Your Music Live. That's exactly what we're about to do. This one is straight up rock, 3 guitars, bass, drums, rock organ. It's an old one written back in the mists of time when I thought I was going to be a rock star. We never got to perform or record it, but I decided to resurrect it through the magic of modern technology. Well, that sounds like a super awesome backstory and a good reason for us to give this one a spin. Let's, you and I, rock out, shall we, with this tune, Back from Hell by SM Borthwick, here on Your Music Live.
time to make no bread. I'd make a clean sweep if I had green for a broom. I know the sparks will fly when you enter the room. I was a saltwater Johnny, dying for a pearl. When I came up for breath, you changed the world. A million pairs of eyes looking your way. But I knew what to do, I knew what to say. I'd come back from hell to put my arms around you. Back from hell and I won't get in. Back from hell, kicking and screaming. Back from hell, back under your skin.
Now that's some old school rock right there. Sorry, I'm turning down your guitar solo. You never turn down a man's guitar solo. YouTube didn't like me playing it. It glitched out a couple of times there, so apologies for that. It just means that you will need to go back and check out that track in its full when you get a chance to after the show, which is a good segue because if you do want to check out and support any of the artists we play here and you want to listen to the whole song, subscribe to their channel, do all those good things, check out the links down in the description. I'm updating them as we go along, so I'm going to make sure we get it right this week. Sometimes I miss out a few, so I'm literally updating and editing the description while I'm listening to each track so that when you go back afterwards, or if you're watching on the replay, they'll all be there ready for you to check out. What do I love about that? Well, I love me some old school rock. I love some guitars. I love a wall of guitar kind of sound. What was really nice in there, you mentioned it in your description, but the little stabs of organ, I think it's missing a lot these days. I use it all the time. I love some organ in some rock music, but sometimes people go a bit too nuts with it and it overpowers the guitars. I like an organ that just sort of backs up the guitar. Same with the bass and the drums. Clearly a guitar-driven song, but the bass and the drums were just like the engine room in this tune. And yeah, I love your voice, my friend. I've told you that before, and it's good to hear you rocking out in a tune like this one. Let's see what folks who are here live had to say about the wonderful S.M. Borthwick and his tune. Stu Cash says it was mega. Patrick Chandler, nice one there. Cody Bradley, the vocals need to be a bit louder in my opinion, but great song. Now, I was going to say that, but I'm a guy who mixes my vocals way too loud. And an old school rock song like this, maybe a couple of dB we could have come up, but I don't think significantly. I didn't get a feel for that one. Although Metallian saying vocals may need to punch through a bit more, maybe a tad of compression, otherwise really great. So yeah, again, it is all subjective, but yeah, that's why we listen to the music here and why we share different opinions, because I can have my opinion, but my opinions are like, you know what? Everyone's got one. But if you get the opinion of people you trust, it's not that you have to go back and change your song. It's that you might learn for your next song. Like this is all this we got infinite retries here. Like you can hit that credit button as many times as you want here because we're in a digital environment. You're not paying for studio time. You don't have to limit yourself. You can just keep trying, and the best way to get better is to rinse, repeat, and keep doing your thing. Scott says, a great start, good one, S.M. Borthwick. Andrew Goldsby, I like this one, cracking riffs indeed. And Jade Star, S.M. Borthwick, kicking off the show with a bang. Absolutely enjoying that one. All right, let's come back to my emails. Before someone asks, because usually I get a question around about this time of the show, I've got a full list for today, but if you do want to be included in a future show, email me, pete@studiolivetoday.com, put YML in the subject line, and we will consider you for a future show. And give me one or two sentences about your tune as well. That always helps me and helps me help you. So please do that. Let's bring up my next one. Make sure I've got the right version of the right email here, which I do. This is from our friend Brian Clark. So we're going to copy. This is a SoundCloud link. So we'll bring this SoundCloud link over here into my thing. So this is from our friend, from Brian, who is duty free, goes by here on the channel. You might have seen him around. He's been around the channel for a long time, a wonderful part of the community. So let's bring this track up. This is a tune called Summer Haze. Here it is. Very nice album artwork. Let's remove my melon so you can see that in its full. Yeah, look at that. I love that album artwork. Interesting stuff. Where are we? Here we are. So let's kick into this track. This is Summer Haze by Brian, our friend, Duty Free, and you're listening to it on Your Music Live.
On long white Nordic summer nights, the brightness of the sky is magical. The sun's warm glow lingers on and on, long after the fire has said goodnight. Sunset seems to never end, though darkness is held at bay. Morning is born with early haze, announcing that day has come again. Summer haze fills my eyes, swells my mind. Summer haze touches my heart, warms my skin, brings a smile to my face on hazy bright Nordic.
There you go. Duty Free with Summer Haze here on Your Music Live. Very, very cool tune. So I've been listening to Brian's tunes for quite a while now. Does a lot of covers. Only learned to play guitar recently, I think, Brian, from memory. But yeah, your production and your quality has improved and you're leveling up. Brian's an example of when you just practice and when you keep rinsing and repeating, you are going to get better and better. What do I like about that tune? Love the stereo guitars. Love the start there with that nice percussion loop and then your guitars coming in on the left and the right. That sounded good. Vocals, I like that sort of that deep voice and the deep tone. It had a bit of a feel of, I'm trying to think of the band and the singer, a little bit Cure, sort of some of the slower Cure stuff. Definitely a sort of European, UK kind of vibe to the tune. And I know you're from, I'm going to get it wrong, aren't I? Somewhere in Europe. I'm so sorry, Brian. You've told me before and I've completely forgotten. But somewhere Nordic I'm getting in my head. But yeah, you'll have to forgive my ignorance there. But yeah, really good song. I think overall the mix just came through a little loud. Now I turned it down here. So you've obviously mastered this one. I would probably, because it's a sort of ballad and a slower, folkier kind of song, I would probably just pull back a little bit. I think you lost a little bit of the definition and a little bit of the dynamic range of some of your instruments in there because it became a bit too full. Now, I know I usually say the opposite. I usually say to folks that you need to add some limiting and you need to make it radio ready. I think you might have just gone a little too far with this one and maybe just dialing it back on the master is just going to give you more definition and more clarity, which is going to bring out the sounds. It's going to make those guitars sparkle and it's going to make sure that your voice is cutting through. It just sounded a bit muddy in the lows and the mids there. So that may be something that you can work on there. I'll make sure that we've saved this in because again, all of these songs will be linked down in the description. What have we got? Joy Division. Greg Hernandez says, yeah, absolutely. Joy Division is who I was thinking. Yeah, love will tear us apart. I think you could totally cover that way if you haven't already. What was the song that I said that you should cover that you did? It was the Nothing Ever, Delamitri song, Nothing Ever Happens. Yeah, when I first heard your voice, I'm just like, oh, you could nail the Delamitri, Nothing Ever Happens. That would be cool. So Tony DeFries says, great instrumental sound. Vocals sounded a bit pitchy, but good vocal tone. Scott, good, nice song, good sense of space with the reverb. Jade says, could have been played in a scene from Twin Peaks. Yeah, right. Cody says, nice sounds like a nice, quiet and calm lullaby. And SM Borthwick, love the vibe of this. Absolutely. So well done. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for being part of Your Music Live, Brian. And please don't be a stranger. Do share with us again soon. Let's move on here. We're going to change up the pace a bit because we've got a lot of variety here. We've started with a couple of sort of rockin' and a bit of singer-songwriter stuff. This one in here is from Brendan Haggerty even. Close enough, Brendan, yeah. People's names are close enough. When people call me John, I should just go, yeah, that's close enough. So this is Brendan Haggerty. This is a tune called Doomed from the Start. And about this one, Brendan says, a beat that gained the most views of all my songs. I think it's pretty good. Let's give it a spin because I'm intrigued to take a listen. This is Brendan, not Brandon, Haggerty, with his tune Doomed from the Start here on Your Music Live. Very cool indeed. Brendan Haggerty, Doomed from the Start. I liked the ominous vibe in that one, like that chord progression of that beat. Just it kind of put me on edge, but in a really good way, like that. That just suspenseful feel. You can hear that in like a video game, like walking along. You got your character and you're just sort of crawling around in the dark passages. I don't know, Alone in the Dark. Any old 90s PC gamers. But no, really good vibe. Like the combination of that was really good. The dynamics in that one, you had your nice bass sound, but not too bassy. It wasn't just thudding 808s the whole way through. But you had that nice little topper on there that creates a nice contrast. I think sometimes people, when you're creating a beat or doing instrumental music, people go a little bit bass crazy. They're like, all I need is a cool melody and then big thumping basses and 808s. But sometimes adding in those little counter melodies, the little things on the top end, is what actually gives you the texture and makes things sound good. Says Pete, who doesn't create beats or instrumental music, but I listen to plenty of it and I help people create it. And this is an example of something that is really good. Just sits together nicely, really cohesive, a really good little track. Something that I will have to come in here and follow you if I haven't already. No, I haven't, so I'm going to follow Brendan once again. If you want to follow Brendan and all the folks that we play the music of, check out the description. We'll be updating that as we go along. Let's see what folks have to say here. Natalia says, nice vibe, would fit in with a soundtrack X-File style. X-File style, yeah, definitely X-File. Cody Bradley, very suspenseful, would love to hear it in a video game. Yep. Amaracia says, I like this one. Reminds me of the kind of music I made many years ago when planning on making a web series. Yeah, very cool. Tom Rochelle, maybe the title is suggesting it for me, but this could be a backing track for a documentary about some cataclysmic world-ending event. You, too soon, me. Very nice. Greg Kelway, yes, agree. Like the soundtrack vibe. Darren Danieluk says, cinematic, nice, and 1,000 watts. Hello to anyone who has joined. I haven't said hello to, which is not about the track, but hello to you, my friend. 1,000 watts, a very good supporter of the channel here too. Speaking of supporting the channel, if you would like to support the channel, this show, all the advertising, well, not all the advertising, but any ads you see on this show are on there, not because I've added them, but because I'm playing other people's music. What that means is that YouTube will put ads on there, and then any of that ad revenue gets paid back to whoever's music I've played, as if it has YouTube Content ID on there. So that is a good thing, because that's the way it should be. I'm playing other people's music here. But it does mean that that this show doesn't generate any income or revenue for Studio Live Today. So I do it because I love this community and I want to play your music. If you love this community too and want to support me, there's a few ways to do it. You can head on over to the Facebook group, Create, Record, Release. You can join us over there. I think Jade Stars just put a note down in the chat here if you're here live, or just go to createrecordrelease.com and you can go to studiolivetoday.com and there you can see all the ways you can support. If you want to support for free, the best thing to do is to like and share with all of your music-loving friends all of the Studio Live Today videos and sit down and binge watch like 17 of them. If you've got a little bit, if you want to invest in something, use the gear guide, studiolivetoday.com/gear. You buy stuff from Amazon, you pay the same price, they break off a little chunk and they send it to me to support the channel. Or if you do want to donate directly, you can use Super Chat here on YouTube, or you can donate via PayPal or join us on Patreon. There you go. That's the 60 seconds you have to listen to get all of the rest of the 2 hours of free stuff. So let's crack back on with all of the music and see who we've got next, Pete. Get your words together. Let's see who we've got next here on the channel. Let's take a listen to this. This is says it's from Six Lead, and it says, this is a new single I released about 1 week ago, and I would like feedback for improvement. Thank you, Pete, and big fan, by the way. Well, thank you. I appreciate you and appreciate your kind words. We will bring this one over and take a look. It's on YouTube, so we'll bring up the YouTubers. And we'll make sure we pause it so it doesn't start. This seems to be called Demon, featuring Sadhu, and it's by Six Lead. We're going to make sure I'll subscribe it and like it, because I'm sure I'll like it. I like anyone who contributes to this show. Here we are. Let's take a listen to this Demon featuring Sadhu, by Six Lead. We're going to listen to it live on Your Music Live.
Fallen victim to many times. Fallen victim to many times.
Ezo beats, Malloy, why this shit bang?
I fell in love with a demon in disguise. Couldn't tell you why she lied. Fallen victim to many times. I fell in love with a demon in disguise. Couldn't tell you why she lied. Fallen victim to many times. I felt trapped inside your hell. Don't you tell me I need help. Wanted you in, I want you out. Lately I haven't been myself. Thought you'd be around, but you're nowhere to be found. All you did was put me down, put me down.
I fell in love with a demon in disguise. Couldn't tell you why she lied. Fallen victim too many times. I don't really want to change my ways. Honestly, I want to stay the same.
There you go, Demon by Six Lead featuring Sadhu. I'll stop trying to say it now. Very, very cool vibe. Get a bit of 21 Pilots vibe from that one. Anyone join me there? Yeah, nice beat there. I like the little guitar loop that you've thrown in at the start there. Yeah, all of the lyrics and vocals were right on the beat, ticking along nicely. Very modern kind of feel and modern kind of vibe. We've talked about it on previous shows. Some people love the auto-tune. Some people really don't love the auto-tune. I sit somewhere in the middle. I think it works with tracks like this, and it can work well. When I'm listening to this, though, I almost want to hear it without the auto-tune. I think it could actually sound, or a little bit dialed down. I think it could sound even better without quite so much processing. I think I get a little bit lost and distracted by the amount of processing on there, and it kind of takes away from the message and the lyrics in the song. That's my personal opinion. Again, it's not a style of music that I create and produce, but I've listened to a lot of this sort of music, and that's my view. We'll see what folks who are here live have to share and have to say on this one. Make sure it's not going to play another clip there. Tom Rochelle says, this is one of those tracks that blurs the line between pop, rock, and rap. I like the narrow radio-style EQ at the start before it kicked in. Cool. Yeah, I like that too. You can have that if you've ever tried to get that EQ sound. Basically, you remove a lot of the bass. The short way to get that AM radio sound is AM radio had no bass. So all you really do is put a low cut or what's called a high pass filter on your whole mix, And then if you've got sort of the ability to automate that filter, you can do that thing. Like Green Day did a bunch of songs with this. It's a very well known sort of tactic. You kind of have it really lo-fi and AM radio style, and then you sort of whoosh, you sweep the bass back in, and then it kicks into your song. I'd play you the Green Day song that does it really well, but then I would get not only copyright claims, I would start getting copyright strikes and have the video blocked. So we don't want that, do we? Patrick Chandler says, cool. Cody Bradley, love the voice and the use of auto-tune. Usually I hear people use too much auto-tune and it throws me off. Jade Star, I could hear heavy guitar chorus to make it soar. Yeah, how good would like some big... Yeah, there you go. Or you could just sample that and put that in the tune instead. But yeah, some big sort of heavy distorted guitars towards the end there would be very cool in that chorus. I think would be good. Cody Bradley said, finished his comment, but I think this did it perfect. Yeah, and again, the auto-tune thing, it's a personal thing, and it works for that sort of style of music, so it's cool. 1000 Watts says, I personally don't like the amount of auto-tune, but whatever works for you is best. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, some definitely good things in there, and yeah, enjoyed the track. So thank you for sharing it. Let's move on back to my emails. I need an easier way to get people to submit songs. Going into my Gmail all the time, it works, but yeah, it's not the most efficient way. Let's go to our next tune. So this is Prod by ZT, or ZT if you're in Australia, said, I flipped this cool Japanese sample and turned it into a modern trap beat. We got some vintage, old school Japanese sample trap beat music coming up here. I still don't know what a trap beat is. I know I jokingly say that, but there was a while there where everyone was producing trap beats, and I didn't know what they were. I was like, yeah. So I get comments on my thing saying, can you show me how to make a trap beat in GarageBand? I'd be like, I'd have to work out what a trap beat is first, but sure, let's give it a crack. Anyway, let's see if we got some Japanese trap music here, or at least with a Japanese sample. This is Prod by ZT, and this is a tune called Gorilla X Japan Type Beat. So let's take a listen to this one here on Your Music Live. Very cool sounding beat. I love that little pause. I'm a sucker for a little pause and then drop back in. So I always enjoy it when someone does that. And nice visualizations there on that. I was getting lost in that. I forgot about the music because I was just watching the cool video. But yeah, really, really nice meshing and melding. I listened to that and the first thing that came to my mind is this is going to be the Japanese Old Town Road because it kind of sounded like a similar type of beat to that, but with instead of the Western kind of banjo kind of sound, we've used a Japanese sound. So it's going to take me down to the old koi pond. Pause for editing, and we're back. Okay. Let's see what folks had to say about this one here. Cody Bradley says, sounds like a Japanese version of Eminem's Kill Shot. Yeah, it's got a bit of an Eminem kind of vibe there. Darren Daniluk, well done. Jade Star, very cool beat. Indeed, it is. What else do we have here? Tom Rochelle's very unique. Love how the tuned kicks were done there too. Yeah. A lot of folks are using really good tuned kicks and tuned 808 basses and 808 kicks, and I think it sounds really good. I think it's, it works well for this sort of track. It just adds some variety to that rather than it just being the standard bass and the standard kick drums. Those tuned 808s just really cut through. Barry Tompkinson loved the track. Greg Hernandez kind of reminds me of monkeying with Fuge Machine. Beat kicks in nicely and love the ambient sounds. Yeah. SM Borthwick says, I like it. I'm still not sure what trap is, though. Yeah, neither am I. I think it's we need to be about 20 years younger to understand it. It's like if I said grunge now to people, they'd be like, what's grunge? That sounds dirty. I'm like, yes, it was, but it was cool. Righty dokey. Let's continue on and get another song into our ear holes. Did I save that one in? I have now. Let's come back to my inbox and see who is next. Got a bunch of folks sharing a bunch of music here, so we will be here for a little while. Hope you're settled in. Grab yourself a beverage, enjoy yourself, and we will continue on with this one. I've got some double ups here, so I'm just clicking through here to find the next actual one. Righty dokey. So we've got one here from Shaun. Okay, so song from Shaun says that my song is about mental health and how you can only make the choices even though the planet can be downright draining. Don't we all hear that? Anyone feeling a bit drained right now? Yeah. Well, hopefully, if you are feeling drained, then hopefully we will refill you with energy by listening to some cool music here on Your Music Live. So let's bring this one up and we'll take a listen in just a moment. So this is to Shaun with Just Thoughts, and we're going to listen to it live here on Your Music Live. Let's kick it on.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. If I go, if I stay,
by God.
if I go, what? If I stay, will you go? Would you stay? If I go away, would you stay? If I go away, I won't come back. If I go, would you stay? Ooh, if I go, would you stay? If I go.
There you go, to Shaun with Just Thoughts here on Your Music Live. I really didn't know where that song was going. We're getting some really cool songs that are melding together a bunch of different styles here today, and I'm really enjoying it. So that one was like rap and then rock, and then it was a bit chilled, and yeah, I didn't quite know the direction. And that's a good thing. I've said it before that if a song takes you on a journey and you don't kind of know the start and the finish and what's going to happen in the middle, that's a good thing, because music should make you feel something, and it should kind of, it can be predictable. Some of the best songs are predictable, like She Loves Me, yeah. Like that didn't really change up a whole lot. I'm not saying the Beatles were predictable. They had some ridiculously good songs that were very out there. But I like the fact that there's something different in there. So what do I really like? Like the guitars in there, like the vibe, like that it kicked in the chorus. I wasn't really expecting that, and I really liked it. Anytime you kick in with some distortion, I like it. I think the vocals were good in places, and in other places they were just wavering a little bit. So it almost felt like, and I've said this before, that when you're recording vocals in the home studio, you really just need to attack them at 100, 110%. So sometimes if you're not quite pushing, and it can be hard, we're all in environments like this, it's hard to just, sing like nobody's watching and nobody's listening, but sometimes you can just hear some of that wavering pitch can often be caused by just not giving it. So the difference between like, hey, this is my song and I'm singing it, and hey, this is my song and I'm singing it, doesn't mean you have to sing like a Broadway singer all the time, but if you just attack each note and try your best to just project it and get that passion in there, that can really help. So that would be my tip on this one. And that may not be the case, but from most folks that I've been helping record music, it's really that they just need to let go. That they're still keeping a little bit inside themselves, which you're going to do for a while. When you first start recording, you tend to be a little bit reserved and you're not pushing it all the way out there. But I can hear that spark of passion is in there. And I just know that if you just gave it your all, that you're going to absolutely smash it out with a song like that. So great job. Thank you for sharing. We'll come on over here and take a listen. Barry Tompkinson, total grunge feel on this one. I know I was just talking about grunge, and then we got a grungy song. Tom Rochelle, like the distorted vocals in this one. Yeah, needs different processing on the background vocals. Seems too similar to the lead vocals. Yeah, that's a really good point. So yeah, there was a couple of points where there were two vocals in there. You did need a little bit, probably less of the distortion on the backing vocals, maybe a little bit more reverb to make them ambient and make them stand out from the exact one. Amarathea said, this is exactly what I was thinking, or basically what I was thinking when you said grunge. Yeah, I know. It's funny that we said grunge and then it went on. Metallian, nice mix and effects like this. Yeah, a nice use of delay, absolutely. Cool. Let's continue on. If you are looking to share a song, throw it in an email, YML in the subject line, and send it to me with a sentence or two about your track, and you'll go into the list, because all I'm doing here, we're not super high tech here. I'm just going through, I'm clicking on buttons, and then I'm playing the tracks. So as long as I play it back and it's like, by the way, I meant to say at the start, what are you? You're 37 minutes in and you're going to give the parental explicit lyrics warning. I'm not playing stuff that has significant amounts of offensive language or offensive content, but there will be the occasional S-bomb and F-bomb, because it's music and it's art and it's creativity, so it's not going to be sort of R-rated, but please, parental advisory. If you are younger or sensitive and there's the occasional curse word in there, then that's going to happen, because I'm playing other people's music. I don't actually know sometimes before I hit play what we're going to actually get. So there we go. Let's kick over to Derek Ross. Pop rap song. Really don't think you'll regret listening to it. Really don't think I'll regret listening to it. Cool. We're going to go with that. Really don't think I'll regret. I had to go with the double negative and work out. I will think I will regret. No, I don't think. Okay. It's going to be unregrettable, which it will anyway, because everything is. We're going to listen to everyone's music. Oh, why is this? I've not hit the enter key. Here you go. You can see behind the scenes. There was to Shaun, and here will come in. This is Zen with eggs and bacon. I do like me some eggs, not so much the bacon, but let's kick in and take a listen to this one. Zen with eggs and bacon here on Your Music Live.
Switch.
Should I catch you in the morning when you're sobering up? Hoping that it's really something, not the less of the drugs. Yeah, they flexing for your Instagram and trying to show up. Baby, I don't really like it when you're doing too much. And she getting way too faded, can you just take it slow? But I think she really likes it when she loses control. Getting tired of the high cause it makes me feel low. But I still be fucking taking all the shots on her own, yeah. Hoping that this time she works out, but it never does. It never does. It's just what I'm needing. When you wake up in the morning, can you make me some eggs and bacon? Now your head is probably hurting cause last night you were wasted. You were telling me you love me but don't know what you're saying. Stop playing. It's just what I'm needing. When you wake up in the morning, can you make me some eggs and bacon? Now your head is probably hurting cause last night you were wasted. You were telling me you love me but don't know what you're saying. Stop playing. I think she's perfect, but she doesn't care. She really likes when I pull on her hair. Go out to parties and all those things.
There you go. Eggs and Bacon by Zen. Here on Your Music Live. Eggs and bacon. Anyone hungry? It is breakfast time here. It's 8:10 on a Saturday morning. So maybe I do need to go and cook myself up some scrambled eggs. Now I'm really hungry. If I lose focus for the rest of the show, you'll know why. That was a good beat. I was waiting for it to kick in. I was waiting for some big rock guitars in that chorus. Like I would have loved to hear. Again, I'm totally biased, but I love me some big distorted guitars to kick in a chorus like that, or at least something to just change it up. And look, we only listened to half the tune, so maybe that was something that came later. I have no ability to sing that fast or to rap and rock at the same time. It sounded maybe a little bit rushed. I don't know if maybe slowing it down by 10 BPM, 20 BPM on that beat would have made it I don't know. It had a nice part, like it had that frantic pace, and that was probably the vibe of the song. But I don't know. A couple of those phrases in that first verse just sounded so rushed that I couldn't really pick up and couldn't really hear the vocals. And I think for a tune like that, where you've got a very simple beat and you're relying on the vocals, you need those vocals to be clear and understandable. Again, it's only my opinion and what I'm thinking, but remember, old man doesn't create this sort of music, so take it with a grain of salt. Let's take a look at what folks have to say about this one. Jade Star's got the eggs and bacon emojis there. Patrick Chandler, very nice vocals and mix. The Tom Rochelle, the eggs and bacon line in the hook is very clear and memorable. Could see that being a modest hit, honestly. Yeah. So eggs and bacon, it is missing coffee. You're right. It needs coffee. You always need coffee, although mine's cold now. Greg Hernandez says, great pop vocal voice, like the speed and overload of lyrics, but enunciation could be slightly better. And Amaracia says, yes, agree. So, yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, and it's definitely the style of the music that it had that fast beat. But, yeah, if I was producing that and if I was producing the song with you, I would say, let's just stretch that beat back and drop it by 10, 20 BPM and try it again and see what happens, because I think you'd just benefit from that. But again, maybe you'd lose the vibe of it kicking along. Tony DeFries says, yes, waiting for it to kick in needs to build to a climax, personal preference. Yeah, and again, maybe it does. I know, it's hard. We only listen to half a song and I'm like, it needs to build to a climax. And people are probably like, it does, Pete. You just didn't listen to the end of it. Which would be a totally fair comment. All right, we have saved that one in there. Yes, we have indeed. Let's go back to my list and see what we got here. So we've got Nath, who has emailed here, said, made this a few days ago, going for a modern hip-hop vibes. So let's, we started with rock, we went to some singer-songwriter. This seems to be the hip-hop, trap beat, rap rock section of Your Music Live. So let's fire this one up. Another SoundCloud link. SoundCloud are loving what I'm pumping through here today. Or maybe they're not, because I use the free version and I don't pay them anything. I look at their ads though. So I guess that's a thing. Let's bring this one up. This is Nath, track called When It Falls, and we're going to take a listen to it now on Your Music Live.
What's his name?
Old boy.
Old boy.
Yeah, it's great.
Pull up, yeah. I'ma pull up and I'm stunning. I'm the general when I'm gunning. When they fall, everybody running. When they fall, everybody running. When I pull up, Gucci on me. Got the fans, bitches, they be coming. When they fall, everybody running. When they fall, everybody running. I'ma pull up and I'm stunning. I'm the general when I'm gunning. When they fall, everybody running. When they fall, everybody running. When I pull up, Gucci on me. Got the fans, bitches, they be coming. When they fall, everybody running. When they fall, everybody running. Yeah, I'm 20, gon' be getting a job. I'ma get it with my new NBA. I'ma get the money, driving new rate. Ain't no more time for the minimum wage. I'ma take off bands in your face. Audemars came in with the new case. I don't want nothing to do with the hate. I don't want bitches, you know that they slay.
When It Falls by Nath here on Your Music Live. Before I forget it, love that little vroom, like car sound effect. I'm a sucker for a sound effect in a tune like that, where it just adds to it. And good dynamics in that one. So you had the intro there, and then you had the full-on verse, chorus, whatever you would label it as, and then you just drop off again a little bit there, and that little, what was it, like a panpipe sound in the background. I think that's what makes a tune like this, that something different and something interesting. Without being critical, anyone could just throw an 808 kick and a kind of beat over the top and then just rap. But I think it's the melodic influence, and again, because I'm a singer-songwriter, I like the melodies, so I think it's when you can have some counter melodies in there that really help it. Like, think of all of the most popular songs of this sort of style and genre. Most of them have a hook that has a bit of a melody that's often not even related to the actual lyrics and to the actual rapping of the sound. If you can have something in there that creates a little bit of a memorable hook that's not actually just the rap or just the beat, that's what I think will help. And when I say beat, I mean the drum part of the beat. I know it's really confusing now. I'm still not happy that that the word beat was reclaimed and actually means instrumental backing track of kind of any type now. Go figure. I'm an old man. I'll go back to my old man ways. Tom Rochelle says, very well produced for sure. Gary Hubbs, I'd like to read the lyrics. I think he had some interesting things to say. Sounded like it, yeah. And again, these are all going to be shared, so you can go back and check out their comments and their descriptions and everything. Emil, hello to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Great rap song. Amaracia, not my style of vocals, but nonetheless, this is radio quality, so good job. Yeah, absolutely. Barry Tompkinson, very hip and chill. SM Borthwick, yeah, auto-tune worked well there, and the pan pipes were a nice touch. Absolutely. And Zelda N64 fan, yes, pretty good mix. So, yeah, thank you for sharing. We've already run the gamut. We're only not even halfway through the show. We've already had a bunch of tracks and a lot of different stuff that's been shared here. Let's jump on over. I did see this one, and I wanted to push this up because Last Arrow from Nottingham, England, they've shared a track before here on the show, and Andrew from Last Arrow, not Lost Arrow, close enough, says this is our second song during lockdown. It's crazy to think that we've not met as a band and played together over 4 months. There's a slight change in style for us with no electric guitars, a drum machine, and some MIDI strings. I used your vocal thickening technique amongst many others useful tutorials. Awesome. Well, I'm very glad. If I can contribute and help in any way with what folks are producing, then that is awesome. That is my job and my goal, after all, is to help you folks create, record, and release your best music. And I don't have all the answers, but if I have some techniques that you can use and they work in your tunes, then all the better for it. So let's take a listen to this one. This is Last Arrow out of Nottingham, England, and we're going to take a listen to their tune called Inside Our Bubble. We're going to listen to it now on Your Music Live.
Inside our bubble, inside our bubble. Inside our bubble, there is no trouble. In our cocoon, because no one's immune. Draw the curtains and batten down the hatches. We will come out of this not a minute too soon. Is it appropriate if I ask you to dance? With social distancing, can only dream of romance. Inside our bubble, inside our bubble. Inside our bubble, it's all slowed down, giving us the space we need stuck in this room. Escaping opinions, they can float out of town. We will burst out of this not a minute too soon.
There you go. Last Arrow, Inside Our Bubble. How darn cool was that? Really digging that tune. And from memory, I liked your... I've already subscribed to you, so I liked your last tune as well. Yeah, a lot going on there. The video was amazing. First, let me say congratulations on that one. Love the guitar close-ups and love the the visualizations in the video. Really, really cool. Gives you something to look at. Acoustic guitars sound great, like really nice, clean, like tone, beautiful. Vocals really good, and yeah, I'm glad that the thickening trick worked for you there because they sound great. So yeah, I won't take credit for them because you sung them, but they sound really good, sound really thick, sound really nice in the mix, really nice tone, and some nice subtle effects on there. Just that little bit of reverb or delay that you had on there really works well. Just like the song, just like it. You would have seen I got distracted. I didn't take any notes and I forgot to remember what to say because I was just enjoying it because the visualization matched with the music just made me happy and made me smile. So yeah, thank you for sharing that one. Another one to go to the Epic Lockdown Songs list. If you're a member of the Create, Record, Release Facebook group, I've got a thread in there in the announcements at the moment, which is all the lockdown songs. There's been so many good lockdown songs over the last sort of few months. So Tim Osborne had a really good one called Lockdown. Tom Rochelle, you've had your Virus Infect, and then your recent one, name escapes me. I really like it, and it has a really good hook, but I can't remember what it's called. It's Mask, the Mask song. I'm pretty sure it's not called the Mask song. Speaking of Tom Rochelle, very, very pretty tune. The visual effect with the guitar and bass with the mouth in the middle, that's brilliant. I agree. Very, very cool. Patrick Chandler says, very nice video, concept work, love it. Guitar melodies are beautiful, says Amarathia. Yes, absolutely. I'll just see if I've got any. Patrick Chandler, oh no, I've already read yours, Patrick. Yeah. Okay, I think Scott said, just caught the last song, good stuff. Sorry, had to jump off, so missed a few. That is all right. This is kind of like a little drop-in show. Imagine that you're watching music TV, or MTV as it might be called back in the day. But I used to like watching sort of music TV shows where they'd just play a bunch of music and you could come in, you could float in and out, and then you could record it on your VCR and then watch it later, and you could check out some of the new music. I always enjoyed watching those sort of shows, and you'd have someone like me, but better looking, talking about and introducing all the songs and saying stuff about them. So that's sort of why I'm doing this show as well, is that I always enjoy these sort of more casual sort of shows. So yeah, you get to hang out for a couple of hours. We get to listen to some tunes, which is good. Yeah, Scott, wear your effing mask. Exactly. Put the mask on your effing face, I think was the line in your tune, Tom. Excellent. Thank you so much, Andrew. Appreciate you sharing that one. Let's make sure I actually put that in the description. I did. So all of these, again, songs are down in the descriptions. How many are we in? We're already like almost 10 songs in. We're flying through today. Flying through. Let's go back and check out my list and see where we are up to. Alrighty. I'm just going to try and find it. Right, so here's an email from Elias, and we will copy this one here. He says, hope all is well. I'm an up-and-coming artist out of Metro Detroit. This song was a long time in the making, but I most definitely wanted to bring something new to the table. Old school and new school. Cool. Let's bring this one up and take a listen to what we've got on offer here. Some old school and new school together. This is San Diego, Midwest, featuring Naji, and I'm going to visualize a video. You know I love me a good visualizer. So let's throw this one up here. So it looks like the artist name is Midwest Weekly, I think. And San Diego may be the name of the tune. We're about to find out, aren't we? So let's hit play on this one and take a listen on Your Music Live.
Girl, I love the way you look at me. I don't know your name, but I'll play that game at the bar. Okay, you stand out to me. From afar I pray I'm not in too deep. It was 2019. She looked 2019. Had an Instagram ego. Sure at hashtag San Diego go. Made my approach. My confidence was sparking golden. When I walked up to that moment, I looked her up and down and told her, girl, I love the way you look at me. I don't know your name, but I'll play that game at the bar. Okay, you stand out to me. From afar I pray I'm not in too deep.
Yeah, I pray that I'm not in too deep. One thing I swear that is quality. I show you things that you've seen in
in your dreams. All you gotta do is just happen with me, yeah. Throw that ass back if you want some Louis V. You already know what you do to me. Take you far away.
How cool is that? Hashtag San Diego. Looks like the name of the track. Midwest Weekly featuring Najee. As you could probably tell, I just kept listening to that because I loved that vocal. I love the style of the vocal. This is, I'm going to use this as my example here this week to say that's a unique vocal sound, and I love that instead of trying to change that vocal sound to be more like what everyone else is sounding like, you're embracing it. It's almost got like an old school crooner vibe to it. Does that make any sense? But it works really well with the song, and it's interesting. Like I was hooked from the start. Like when that beat kicked in at the start and then the vocals kicked in, I was actually like, yep, this is something cool. I want to listen to this song. I'm just going to take it back to the start. And play this just so that I can explain this. Like that's cool. That build up, I'm like, I want to know what's happening here, right? You got the crackle, you got the build up, and then you're right into it.
I walk away, you look at me.
I'm like instantly interested. So we're 15 seconds in, you've given me a beat, you've built it up, you've faded in, and then you've kicked in with some vocals that I'm like, wow, that's a really interesting vocal tone. I want to hear what this person has to say. So yeah, I'm probably not giving you a lot of information or a lot of details about the production here, but it was clearly good because it didn't distract from it, and I got distracted instead by how cool it was and the different sort of vibe that we had there. So what do you think? If you're here live, let me know in the chat, and if you are watching on the replay, feel free to leave a comment. If you want to try and catch the show live, we do this usually every week or every 2 weeks here on what is a Friday afternoon for many of you, Saturday morning for me here in Australia. So we listen to a bunch of your songs. You can email them to me. Instructions down in the description. What do folks have to say about that one? Russ says, I like the forward vocal. Yeah, it's very, very cool. Very nicely done. Tom Rochelle said, the vocal mixing and effects in the song is crazy. Really cool. Like the different sound to that is awesome. Amarcia said, I'll have to listen a few times to get used to it. It's unfamiliar, and I love that. Always I want to hear new things. Absolutely. I love it. What else have we got? Anyone else have any other comments on this one? 1000 Watts says vocals are mixed a bit too high. So yeah, perhaps. Amarcia, a fresh beat. Yeah, it's very, very different, very interesting. Really like it. Excuse me. Tony DeFreeze says this show is inspiring me to up my game. Well, yeah, but I hope it is. Hopefully, it is inspiring. I think that's the key word, the key takeaway. Some people have said to me in the past, they're like, "Oh man, whenever I listen to the music that you play, that the community is producing, it makes me feel bad because I'm not at that level." As you probably hear in this show, we got people at different levels. We got people releasing music that's like radio ready. That if you heard it on the radio, is there still radio? If you heard it on Spotify playlist, then you'd be like, yeah, I dig that. And we've got people that are starting out. And everyone still needs to keep learning, right? Like no one's at the point where they're like, okay, done now. I know music, because music changes, music evolves. You can always get better, and even if you can't get better, you can always be different. You can always bring something different to the table, and that is what I'm wanted to hit home with. Righty dokie. Let's come back to check out another track that rhymes, and you know that rhymes. Alrighty. I'm just going to check something because those that support me on Patreon, thank you for those who do that. I do, every time I do this show, I'll sort of put a bit of a call out in one of the places where folks can support me. And I'll say, if you've got a tune that you want to jump the queue with, then you can go ahead and send it on through. So it doesn't look like we've got any of the patrons who have submitted a song this week. Some of them may have already submitted or haven't seen the post yet. But if you do want to support me on Patreon, patreon.com/PeteJohns for as little as $1 per month, you can have a little bit more direct access to me in a smaller community. So consider that if you want to be involved. Let's find another tune though, shall we, to play, because we've got a heap here. I'm really sorry. We do have so many here that we're not going to get through them all today, but we will do our absolute best to get through as many as we possibly can. Because I've seen some of these folks here, let's move the order around a bit, shall we? So I am going to play another tune by one of my patrons. I did think that there was someone who had shared one. This is our buddy Martin Hammer. Says, "Hi Pete, this is my last song. Took some time to write and record. My biggest project ever. At least 24 tracks of vocals before merging them. The horns came from my old Korg Triton. Hope you enjoy it." Martin, this already sounds epic. I haven't even brought it up, and it's already sounding epic. So let's bring up this tune. You've sent me the Song Whip link, which is always very cool. If you don't know about Song Whip, by the way, let's bring this one up. If you don't know about Song Whip, if you go to songwhip.com, paste in your Spotify link or your Apple Music link, it creates this page, a page like this, where you can have all of your links. And it looks all nice and beautiful as you scroll down. You can play the song in a bunch of different platforms. You can buy it too. So our buddy Wilson Page over at Songwhip does a great job at maintaining this. So support those that support music. Use songwhip.com to share your tunes. Let's open up the YouTube link, shall we? And take a listen to this one. We'll just hit the pause. There we go. Still in Love with You by Martin Hammer. Let's take a listen to this one. 24 tracks of vocals. I can't wait to hear it. This is Martin Hammer on Your Music Live.
Breaking up was a stupid thing to do. I see it clearly now. Hope you feel it too. What we needed, time on our own. It ended up with me staring at the phone. Every time that we talk, every road that I walk, leads me right back to you. I'll stay forever blue. I've been counting the days, I've been counting the nights, so I guess that it's true. I'm still in love with you. Every breath that I take, every move that I make, everything that I do it all for you.
Who else could listen to those vibes all day? But we do need to move on because we have a heap of music to get to. Martin Hammer hitting it out of the park again with a new tune, Still in Love with You. You might remember we played, I think we played two of Martin's tunes before. Every time I just run out of superlatives because I love the production on this. The horns in there were so cool. Love that you used your old Korg to produce the horns. Really good dynamics in there, like the horn. You've obviously spent a lot of time crafting those. And I could hear those backing vocals came in with a beautiful wall of sound there in a few places. Guitar's great, drums great, vocals spot on, really well produced, really fun vibe. As you could see, I was rocking out to that one because that was just such a fun vibe. That's a tune for a Sunday afternoon session that I'll be adding to my playlist and kicking back with a beverage on Sunday after the happy hour for sure. What do you think, folks who are here live? What do you think of Martin's new track there? Sounding good. Happy Ron here. It says rock on. Rock on, Ron. Russ, great production. Tom Rochelle's like a classic early 90s pop rock. The Korg Triton sounds only enhance this effect. Absolutely. It's very much that late 80s, early 90s vibe in a good way. Like I loved those sort of music. Like that was when I first got into music. A guy called John Farnham here in Australia. Hey, shout out to my Australian friends. Johnny Farnham produced sort of not exactly that sort of music, but along those sort of lines. Bit Crowded House, bit NXS, a lot of their sort of stuff with their saxophone that they kicked in with. Yeah, just really, really nice. SM Borthwick says Martin and his super smooth 90s production style again. Great song. Metallian, love the groove of this old style, yet sounds fresh. Exactly. Scott, nice song. I've been able to catch Martin's music in the Facebook group. Very talented. Indeed he is. Zelda fan, very wide and open mix, a lot going on without feeling overcluttered. That is a great way to put it. A lot going on without feeling cluttered. So, yeah, I agree with that because I think when you have that much going on in a track, it's really easy to just muddy it up, to make it sound really full on and just lose that definition and those dynamics. Martin, in your tracks, you have a way, and I'm going to have to find out more. We're going to have you on the channel, I think. We need an interview with Martin, because you have a way of mixing and producing your tracks so that they sound super full, but not overloaded and muddy. And that's a really tough thing to do, especially to translate onto different listening environments. So I'm listening on my headphones here, but I bet if I plug in my monitor speakers, it's going to be sounding nice and full through those as well. Alrighty, Patrick Chandler, as always, a great vibe. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm not gonna start trying to speak French again today. I get in trouble from my friends up in Canada for trying to speak French, because I'm just terrible. Je m'appelle Pierre. Ça va bien, merci. Voilà, Paul. Sorry, there was a book we had that had it was Salut Natalie. Voilà, Paul. Salut, Paul. And there was a song called Basket Rouge in this thing, which means red sneakers, basically. And it went like this. Basket Rouge. And then I forget the rest of the words. And at the end it goes, ça bouge. So there you go. That's French hour or French minute with Pete. Make sure that is in the list. It is, so we can move on and find some more tracks. I'm going to go out of order, because what are we? We're past the halfway point now. So I'm going to go out of order, because I know some of the folks who've submitted songs are here live, and I want to give you an opportunity to hear your tune being played live on Your Music Live, because that is, after all, the point of the show, so that you can get some feedback. So let's move a little bit out of order here. And our buddy, Amarasaya, hello to you. You are here live, and you've been a supporter of the channel for a very long time. I think you've had a break. We've been doing some other creative projects, so that is absolutely fine. You help us out with some of the moderation duties here on the channel as well, and you always create some very, very cool music. You've given me a bunch of information about the track, which maybe we'll come back and take a listen to or a read of afterwards. That you said, so here's a song from the Light Asta comedy album. The song is called Endless Eggs by Light Asta, your alter ego. So let's copy those and bring it on over. I've got windows going every which way. So we'll paste this one in, and we'll bring this one up and be taking a listen in just a few moments. All right. Sorry, that took a little bit longer than I meant it to. All righty, let's bring this one up. This is the Light Asta comedy album, and this is Endless Eggs. This is our buddy Amarasia, and we're taking a listen to it live on Your Music Live. Our second egg reference of the show, Endless Eggs there, Light Asta. Love your work, my friend, Amarasaya. You've been working on a bunch of different projects, bunch of different music over time, and that is a very cool one, Endless Eggs. I think we've all been there. Yeah, there was no food. There was also no toilet paper for whatever reason. People were doing no eating, but a whole lot of pooping back in March. That seemed to be what the vibe I was getting there. They're like, we have no food, we can't eat, but we're sure are going to poop a lot. Anyway, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, like the production on that one. Really, interesting. Love your vocals. Super dynamic. Hitting the falsettos in there. Only thing I would say is that with a comedy song like that, couldn't understand all of the words. So I would maybe just work on just defining the vocals a little bit more and making sure that we can actually hear every phrase and every word. That would probably add to something like that in the future, just so that it's completely understandable. But I think we've everyone can relate to that, and I'm looking forward. I'm going to go and check out the rest of the album. You back in Songtember 2019, which seems like a lifetime ago. I think it was for that you produced the song. I can't remember the name of it. You have send me an email and remind me of it so that I can maybe play it on the future show. But it was the one with the humidity, and you had a really cool video that went along with it that you produced. So send me another email and share that one. We'll play that on a future show because I know it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. It's my favourite tune of yours that you've produced. So, I didn't put that in my list here. Hold the line one moment. I'm just going to paste this one in here. That was Light Esther, and that was the tune called Endless Eggs. I'm getting super hungry. I'm definitely going to go and have me some eggs after the show. We had the eggs and bacon, and now we've had endless eggs. Do we have the trifecta? Has anyone else shared an egg-related song in the last week? Maybe not. Let's have a listen here. SM Borswick says, Unhinged Amarasea. Love it. Yeah, I love the, absolutely. Tom Rochelle says, is this our first comedy song? Those vocals made my throat hurt in sympathy with you. Great work and a fun song. And Zelda said, gave me a Muse vibe. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of Muse in that production. Amarasea says, I failed so badly at yelling in the second pre-chorus. You should check it out. Yeah, well, definitely check it out down in the description, because there's all of these songs will be there so that you can listen at your own time, and definitely go and explore the rest of Amarasea's stuff, because you got some good stuff in there. And Scott says, nice song, Amarasea, great vocals. You find any food? Hopefully everyone's doing well. By the way, I know this is kind of our escape from all the stuff, so I don't talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it for 10 seconds, which is, I hope you're well, I hope you're safe, I hope you are looking after yourself and your family and your friends, and that you're using music and spending whatever time you have to create and listen to a bunch of music, which is exactly what we're going to be doing right here. Roy Darby says, it was excellent. No pun intended. Ba-dum-tsh. Let's continue on. I think I saw a tune. From Happy Ron, and I've definitely seen Happy Ron in the chat here. So I'm going out of order here today because we've only got 40 minutes left, and I want to get to the folks that are here, that are kind enough to be here live. I want to make sure that we're playing their tunes. So let me just bring up this email that we've got from Ron. New recording for you to consider. Thanks for all you do. Let's see. And Ron's got a question. What would you say if you only had a little time left? And since we're only here a little while, we might as well say it now. I like this. It looks like a tune called The Wider View by Ron. Let's bring this one up. I interviewed Happy Ron a while ago. When was that, Ron? Like going back a few months now. Was that the before time? I think it might have even been the before time. I'll have to find it. Jade's usually good with this stuff. She'll probably have found the interview and thrown it in the chat before I even hit play on this track. Otherwise, I'll try and find it in the background while we go. But yeah, definitely check out the interview. Happy Ron, very interesting character, has a lot of good things to say, and a lot of good music. So that's what we're going to listen to now. We'll bring this one up across here. There we are. Here we go. This is Happy Ron with The Wider View, and we're listening to it live on Your Music Live.
My life is ticking down. Not what I would choose. I hear your saddened sound of all you think you'll lose. Before I leave this life, I have this wish for you, the hope that you will see the wider view. Only see the wider view, paint the way with me. Your canvas won't be quite so blue if you don't want it to be. The colors that we've known mean you won't paint alone if you choose to see the wider view. It's just a part of life. We're only here a while. We made the best of everything, the most of every mile. And all the joyous times you painted on my face, we made each other better with our grace. Only see the wider view and paint the way with me. Your canvas won't be quite so blue if you don't want it to be. The colors that we've known mean you won't paint alone if you choose.
Happy Ron, hitting it out of the park again. The bad news is I got distracted listening to the message of the song, and it meant that I couldn't critique the production of the song. That in itself is a good thing. So that in itself tells you that the song was produced well and that there's not really much to talk about. Loved the drum beat though. Love that just repetitive. I say repetitive, it's in a good way. I love the consistent beat in the background there. Guitars sounding wonderful there. Vocals sounding wonderful. You've just got that friendly voice that just works for these sort of songs. A little bit sort of Simon and Garfunkel, a little bit sort of old school 70s, 80s folksy style. But yeah, with a modern twist. And I think that's the thing. When I say things like, oh, that's a 90s sound or that's a 70s sound, it's not that it's old and that you shouldn't have that sound. It's that sound worked well then, and there's a couple of reasons why you'd produce it now. One is nostalgia, that people from those eras love that sound, and two is it was a good sound. Apart from some of the 70s sound, disco, even disco was pretty good. I listened to some ABBA. Yeah, that's one of my guilty pleasures. But yeah, I've forgotten my train of thought. I need to cough. One moment. I think I was distracted because I knew I needed to cough and I wanted to mute myself before you had to listen to that. But yeah, great job, Ron. Always appreciate your support here on the channel. You do a lot of good things for a lot of people, and that's a good thing as well, because music is not just about the notes, or in this case the digital ones and zeros. It's about how you connect with people and the message that you're sharing. So excellent message. Hold here says, awesome one. Everyone is so talented. Yeah, I think that says it all, doesn't it? SM Borthwick says, now I'm sad. Lovely song, Ron. I know we didn't play that one right at the end because that would be a bit of a sad way to go out on that one. Tom Rochelle, very nice, simple song with a positive message. Really nice. And Amaracia, incredible songwriting. Jade Star, great track. Ron. Yes, it does hit you right in the feels, that one. Russ says, loving the lyrics. Scott, good song. Much respect to all who've created and sharing their songs here. Absolutely. Alrighty. Metallion says, pure Ron. Nice, simple and meaningful, and darn well produced to boot. And Stu Cash says, a bit of Bob Dylan. It does have a bit of Bob, doesn't it? A bit of Bob Dylan vibe there that a lot of Ron stuff has. Very much that sort of singing, talking in some parts where it's like having a conversation. It's very melodic, but it's also almost like spoken word in places. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyway, check that one out. Jade has shared the interview I did with Happy Ron. That's down in the description as well. I've put a copy there. I put the song and then I put the interview there. So if you want to listen to Ron's music, but then you want to find out what makes Ron tick, check out the interview. It was a lot of fun, and we found out a lot of good things about Ron and how he creates his and shares his music. Where are we for time? 40 minutes. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun and listening to great music here on Your Music Live? Alrighty. Again, because folks are here live, I'm going to push you to the top, or at least to the topper of the list. So I do know that I've seen our man Gary Hubbs, and he made me laugh and rock and cry. No, not quite cry. Last time he cheered. And he always talks about hockey when he emails me, which I always love because the Rangers, New York Rangers are my team. As you've probably seen me wearing Rangers jerseys before. Yeah, they're not doing too well at the moment. But they got the number 1 pick in the NHL draft. So that's a good thing. Like, you're the best loser. You're such a good loser. We're going to give you a good player. That's how it works in sport. All right, we're going to copy this one. This is Parking Lots, a tune by Gary Hubbs. And I haven't heard this. I've deliberately not listened to it because I know you've shared this, Gary, on I think on Create, Record, Release and some other places, maybe the GarageBand Users Facebook group. I deliberately haven't listened to it because I wanted this to be my first listen and my first reaction to this tune right here on the live show. So let's bring this one up. We got another cool GarageBand background here. I always love seeing how people produce in GarageBand. A lot of automation going on there, Gary. Looks like you got a lot of work on there. Let's take a listen to this one. Parking Lots, the working edit from Gary Hubbs here on Your Music Live. I don't want to stop listening, but I have to because it is a show where we listen to everybody's music. But you get a free pass, Gary. I said it last time. I'll say it again because clearly you and I listen to a lot of the same music in the last couple of decades because that's almost like an homage to all of my favorite heavy bands from like the 90s and 2000s that I used to love. There's some Tool in there. There's a heap of Tool in there. Tool's Undertow album had a lot of those sort of sounds and vibes, which is one of the classic ones, and Opiate by Tool as well. A bit of Helmet in there, a bit of Rage Against the Machine, almost some Offspring vibe there, some of their heavier stuff. Punk rock, kind of heavy, grungy. Love it. Really love it. Love the passion in there. Those crunchy guitar tones. You just generate some ridiculously good guitar tones that just... They sit right in the middle there. They're not so fuzzy that they don't have definition, but they're crunchy enough to just make you go, damn. And the bass as well. So, just the start of that bass. Let's just have another listen to the start of this with this bass sound that came in here. This was just epic. This is a ridiculously good sounding bass. Take a listen. Let's crank it up. How good is that? Reminds me, does anyone know the band Primus? Primus had some epic bass sounds in their tunes, and they had a tune called Shake Hands with Beef that started with a really cool bass riff that reminds me of that, like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, check out some Primus if you want to listen to some good music from back in the day. I've run out of superlatives. Sorry, Gary. I'd try and give you some advice, but again, I get too lost in the music and how cool it is. So I know that you're sharing that over on Create, Record, Release and GarageBand Users. So I'm pretty sure I saw you had a heap of comments. So I'm sure a lot of people are giving you plenty of advice and feedback on that one. Battalion says that song is dope. Straight and in our face. Good. Yeah. Tom Rochelle. Oh, yeah. This rules for sure. A little bit Tool mixed with Primus. There you go. I'm not the only one that thinks Tool and Primus on that one. Scott, love that bass. Yeah. SM Borthwick. Go Gary. The screaming vocals. Ominous spoken back. Yeah. The ominous spoken backing vocals. Heavy guitars. Great stuff. And Jade Star says that bass is a wall smasher. Stu Cash. Quality Gary. Sounds ace. And Zelda fan. Yes. Definitely reminds me of Primus a bit now that you mention it. Yeah, got a bit of a Primus vibe. It's like Primus meets Tool. I think that's what we're going to do. That's the explanation. Do I still have it here? Primus had a really cool CD. I might have put it back upstairs now. I was going to play it the other day. I know CD because I don't think it's called Miscellaneous Debris by Primus. Again, if you're looking for stuff, let's we're going to get totally sidetracked here. But Gary, you've inspired me to do this. Let's just see if it's on the YouTube here. But it's so worth listening to. It's one of my favorites. It's like an EP. It's like 5 tracks, but it's got some really cool stuff on it. Miscellaneous Debris. Here it is. No, I don't want the vinyl of it. Yeah, it is here. It's an 8-track, in fact. So it's an 8-track album. This one here. That's the cover, Miscellaneous Debris. You got to listen to Tippy Toes. I can't play it here now, but yeah, it looks like it's on the official Primus channel. But take a listen to Tippy Toes and have a cigar and intro. Yeah, there's just some really cool tracks on that one. So there you go. There's some recommendation for your weekend listening. Once you've listened to all of the stuff on this show, go and listen to some Primus Miscellaneous Debris album. What did Mighty Meldrum used to say, Jade? Do yourself a favor and take a listen to an album released in 1996 because, I'm old school. What can I say? Where are we at? All right, half an hour to go. We better get serious about this stuff. We've saved in Gary's tune. We'll come in here and see who we else have got. While we're going heavy, let's it wouldn't be a Your Music Live if we didn't get a Darren Daniluk song, right? It's almost like a staple of having one of Darren's tunes in Your Music Live. This song is a warning. Be careful which authority you trust. Sounds ominous. And you've said it's possibly the heaviest song you've submitted. It's going to be loud, fast, and extremely heavy. All GarageBand, of course. No vulgarity or swears. There you go. Darren's always good at telling me what parental advisory warning I need to put at the front of his tunes. So let's bring this one on up, shall we? Coming up. This one is called I Don't Drink the Kool-Aid. There you go. Anyone drink the Apple Kool-Aid? I sure do. I buy all their products. Please, Apple. Although I haven't bought their $500 keyboard yet for my iPad, but I probably will. Sorry. All right, let's take a listen to this one. It is called I Didn't Drink the Kool-Aid. It's going to be heavy, Darren says, so get ready for some heavy rock here on Your Music Live. Dora, I wonder what the total kick drum count is in that entire track. It's what is it? It's a 4 minute 44 song. It's probably got what 7,000 or 8,000 kick drums. Oh, it is very cool. I'll tell a story about a band that I played with on the same set in a little while. But firstly, yeah, I mean, I have so much respect for this sort of music. It is not my bag. I've said it before, and it's not offensive. It's for the same reason that when I listen to trap beats, I'm like, I'm not the best person. I'm not an aficionado of metal, so I can't tell you if it's great metal, good metal, or otherwise. But I know what I respect, and I know what sounds cool, and that sounds cool. Like I listen to something like that, I'm like, yeah, it's just an explosion of sound, and I can't scream like that. I used to try, like, singing, covers of old Nirvana and Pearl Jam songs. I'd try and, like blast it out in my chest voice, and I'd last about 30 minutes, and then I wouldn't be able to speak. And considering when I was playing in bands back in the day, I also worked in a call center, that was a really bad idea. Because I go out on a Thursday or Friday or Saturday night, and I'd be playing, like, loud music and, like, screaming, and then I'd get up the next morning and have to go, welcome to name of company, this is Peter, how can I help you? And they'd be like, dude, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just rocked out way too hard last night. And they're like, oh, cool, sweet. And we do the devil horns to each other, and then we move on. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for sharing, Darren. Let's come in and take a listen to, I know you've got some fans here in the group. Tom Rochelle says the screaming is fantastic. Another one that makes my throat hurt in sympathy. Great job as usual. 1,000 Watts says, I like metal that's not as heavy. Yeah, same sort of deal. Gary Hubb's breakneck tempo. Yeah, I know. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? SM Borthwick. Oh, yeah, Darren, this one's incredible. Worth listening to the whole thing. It's spine-chilling. Yeah. Jade Star, brutal stuff. Tim Osborne, fab drums. Wow. Yeah, pretty insane, isn't it? Dang, those drums are fast. They really are. Just super, super heavy. Like it. And some folks are saying, yeah, it's not my bag. And I'm like, it's not into this sort of music. And that's totally cool. That's the thing. There's no way I'm going to play 2 hours of music and you're going to... Shall I start that sentence again? There's no way that I'm going to play 2 hours of music and at the end you're going to say, I enjoyed every single track. That was amazing. Just not going to happen. If you get half of it that you love, that's great. Even a quarter that you love, that's great. If you discover one artist from these 2 hours and you're like, wow, that really connected with me, I'm going to go listen to more Gary Hubbs or more Happy Ron or more Darren Dadaluk, then that's a good thing, right? That's this discovery. I'm giving you a helping hand to discover some amazing artists. And if you end up like me, where you won't have time to go and listen to Tool and Primus because you're listening to Gary Hubbs instead. You're listening to these because you can connect. You can then talk to the artists and find out how they created it, because most of us are music creators as well as music listeners. It's a good thing. What was I going to say? Yes, I was going to say that I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, I played with a band. I played in a 3-piece grunge band. We wanted to be Nirvana back in the day, called Scarpa. And we played a gig. We didn't play many gigs. We played maybe 10 or a dozen gigs in our lifetime. But we played one gig out at like some community centre on like a Sunday afternoon in the northern suburbs of Adelaide, slightly rougher area. And we were playing, the first band that played was a band that were playing speed metal, or at least I think it was speed metal. Maybe it was black metal or death metal. I don't know. But every song they played was about 20 seconds. And they'd get up there and they'd be like, the lead singer would have his long hair down like this and be like, this is our new song. And they go, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's like, and the guy would be like, and it'll be 20 seconds of that with double kick drums and screaming. And then they stop and they go, thanks very much. And it was the coolest thing ever. I'm like, this is a different level. This is a different world. I don't know. I reckon they played 20 songs in like a 20-minute set, and all of them were about 30 seconds. And they all, to my uneducated ears, they all sounded exactly the same, because they were all just giant power chords, screaming, and double kick drums. But I'm sure like there were aficionados in the crowd just going, wow, the way that one did that thing in that last tune was amazing. But again, horses for courses, right? Different strokes for different folks. Alrighty, let's move on to our next song. Excuse me. Who did I see? I thought I saw someone else in here. Yes, I did. I saw Patrick Chandler. We've got the Chandler brothers are back. I know there's a lot of returning folks here, and I did see Patrick on the stream, I'm pretty sure, at least at the start of the stream. So Patrick, hopefully you're still around so we can give your tune a spin. And don't worry, I know I'm not going to get to everyone in my list today. So if you have submitted, we've only got 25 minutes left, so I'm not going to get to everyone. I apologize for that. So here is Patrick says Chandler Brothers Production would like to submit this song in consideration for an upcoming Your Music Live show. This is a solo project on my behalf as far as the songwriting and recording of the song, but we have the privilege to collaborate with Binny Sandhu. Binny, one of our buddies from over on the GarageBand users group, on the conceptual design and video production. Yeah, the song takes us on a journey of 3 individuals and a day in their lives. Recorded and mixed in GarageBand, this project started months ago as an 8-bar track of just drums and piano as an idea. Thanks for your consideration and all you do. No, thank you, Patrick, for all of your support. We will bring this one up. I'm looking forward to this. Binny Sandhu, member of the Create, Record, Release group, actually designed, maybe not the current one, but a few of the headers and the photos that I use in Create, Record, Release. I put that out there to the group and asked for folks to contribute. And Binny is an excellent designer and artist and contributed some of those. So thank you to you for that. And now we're going to take a listen to this one. This is Patrick Chandler called This Is the Day. Let's take a listen to it live on Your Music Live. I want to hear the whole thing. I know you're saying, Pete, it's your show. Why don't you just listen to the whole thing? Well, because I like to be equitable and I like to make sure things are fair, and I don't want to just, because it's the sort of music I like and I want to hear what happens at the end of the song. It's not really fair for me to just listen to the whole song. But it's a nice tease because it means that you have to go back and check the description after the show and go and check that one out, because I want to know how it ends. I'm following along in that story, and I definitely want to see and hear the rest. Love the idea of having the video concept in there as well to complement the tune. And I can hear, now that you mentioned that sort of 8-bar loop that you've grown this song out from, I can hear how you would have had that and then you've moved through it with that. Really nice production on this one, really nice sounds. Liked the little subtle electric piano in the background. That always works well in a tune like this to go along with sort of the drums and the guitars and the vocals. Really well produced. GarageBand does an amazing job with producing music like this. If you've been watching at the moment, I'm using Audio Pro and Cubasis. I miss GarageBand. I miss the simplicity of getting a really good quality sound with minimal effort, and you can focus on the creating. Anyway, that's an aside. But really nicely done there, Patrick. Enjoy everything that the Chandler brothers have put out, and this one is no exception. So let's jump over here. Excuse me a moment. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. I don't want you to have to hear me coughing. Jay Stars is very pro recording, and SM Borthwick, love this song. The way the bass changes up in the chorus is fantastic, and Binny's work on the video is terrific, 100%. Tom Rochelle, really good song with a great message. Video production with pro quality as well. Very nice work. Tim Osborne, is the video done in LumaFusion or iMovie or another? Yeah, good question, Tim. Maybe, Patrick, if you can share, if you're still here in the chat or if you're watching on the replay, and maybe Binny as well. I'm sure if you're over on Create, Record, Release, they've probably already talked about this, but make sure you join the Facebook group, createrecordrelease.com, and ask Binny and Patrick over there. They're both members of the group. I'm sure they'd be happy to share some stuff with you there. Scott says, nice song. Benny did great on the video. Absolutely. Metallian, very nice song. Simple theme and production is spot on. Aaron Marcia says, this is literally so good, I thought it was an ad. There you go. I literally forgot this was a live show I was watching. Yeah. Well, that's good. You're getting absorbed into it. And thank you, by the way. Amarasea has thrown the super chat, the super sticker there on the chat and has made a donation to the channel. So I do appreciate that a whole bunch. If you do want to support the channel, again, I do these little mini spots. This show is brought to you today by me, because as I mentioned up at the front of the show, there's no revenue that comes to me or the channel for this show, because any advertising that goes on this video, because I'm playing other people's music, it gets shared out, and anyone that has released it with a content ID, it'll break off the chunks and send it around to them. So I do this because I love you and I love the community and I want to hear your music and share it with the rest of the community. That being said, feel free to support me in this. So yeah, if you do want to donate to the channel, you can do that here in the chat, in the super chat on YouTube. If you're watching on the replay, head over to studiolivetoday.com or check the info in the description about how you can join me by becoming a patron over on Patreon, and how you can donate directly to the channel, or do things like use the gear guide. If you're going to buy stuff anyway, if you use my gear guide, studiolivetoday.com/gear, what they do is you go through those links. If you buy something, they break off a tiny chunk and they send it to the channel, and you're supporting me and the work we do here on Studio Live Today. And thank you to Jade, who has popped the link down in the chat. What do we got left? We got 20 minutes. Spoiler alert, we are going to finish with another song from one of our moderators here. So hang out for that one. That's a little tease there. We've only got 3 moderators on the channel. We've already heard from one of them, and the other one's not here today. So you can probably quickly and easily determine whose tune we're going to be finishing up with here today. But for now, let's come back over and grab another song, because we got more songs to listen to. Righty dokie here. Let's take a listen to another tune here. This is some, I have actually heard this tune, or at least I've seen it shared. I'm wondering if I've actually played it. It's from Rebecca. Rebecca Rowland says, hi Pete, I would love for you to play my new song, I Wish, on your Music Live show. I did keep your feedback in mind when mixing this one. I doubled the drum and guitar tracks for a fuller sound. Hope you can tell the difference. Clearly, I have listened to this. I thought I had. I thought it was familiar. So I've obviously listened to this. I think you shared it either on Create, Record, Release or GarageBand Users on one of the Facebook groups. So I've clearly already listened to it. So let's bring this one up here now, shall we? Because this could be, this is at we've had all dudes so far. This is our first tune by a lady on the show for like an hour and a half, or hour and 45 minutes, so we are way overdue. So let's kick on. Let's take a listen to this tune from Rebecca Rowland. I haven't pressed the button yet to bring us over. This is Rebecca's tune called I Wish, and let's listen to it live on Your Music Live.
Loneliness inside, I think I'm starting to cave. The more I try, everything stays the same. In another life, maybe I'll light up the dark. Heavy thoughts tonight are weighing down on my heart. And I know that you can see me breaking down again. I'm so out of reach. I wish I could cut it all away. I wish this was just another dream. I wish all the bliss I could change. They wanna take these walls down so they can get to the truth. I'm in a place I've built this to. Maybe one day they'll find that it came too soon, it's too late.
There you go, Rebecca Rowland here on Your Music Live with her tune called I Wish. Very, very cool. Yes, I do remember that I had heard it before, and it sounds like I gave some advice. Hopefully it worked because, the song's sounding good, sounding full, good arrangement. Vocals are really nice. You've got a wonderful voice, really nice processing on the vocals. Subtle, but not too much going on there, but processed enough to give it the sort of vibe and the sound that you're probably going for there. So it's got a bit of a Wilson Phillips, Bananarama kind of sort of 80s, 90s ballad sound going on there, which is a good thing. I like that. But Wendy Matthews, for those here in Australia, or who else am I thinking? Like Meredith Brooks. Anyway, it reminds me of a lot of different styles and different singers and different artists. But really like the production on that one. You're just going to go from strength to strength. I'm not sure how long you've been recording or been sharing your music, but hopefully the sort of feedback that you're getting from the community and from folks listening on this show is going to help. And you're going to keep creating, keep writing, keep recording, keep releasing your music because sounding super good. Let's jump over to see what folks have to say. We've got Jade Star, really nice song, great vocals. Battalion, love the vocal and arrangement. Tank on Cleaning, nice tune from Rebecca. Tim Osborne, love the vocals, great to listen to on the beach dreaming. There you go. Tom Rochelle, really liking the production on this one. Reminds me of something, but not sure what. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I think it's Wilson Phillips. I think it's sort of that hold on vibe, or maybe who's the other one I'm thinking of? I just I can't think of the name of the artist, but I just produced a track for someone where they did a cover of, I can't remember. Don't worry, it's all good. Amber Saya, really nice, very harmonic. Gary Hubbs sounds so clean. Russ, good track. Patrick Chandler, smooth one there, great voice. Solrak, hello to you. I like it, very epic. If she can lower the chorus effect in her voice, it will be better. There you go. And if she ever needs a guitar, then I can do some samples and stuff. Yeah, so you can hear that the guitar in the background is the virtual guitar. Sounds like the GarageBand virtual guitar, which not a bad thing per se, but yeah, it does stand out. So, and I know, look, if you don't play guitar and you don't own a guitar, it can be hard, but I would reach out and maybe collaborate with some of the folks. There's a heap of guitarists on the GarageBand users group and on Create, Record, Release that I'm sure would record you a few guitar licks and a few backing tracks for your tunes. So keep that in mind that, sharing is caring. Speaking of sharing, if your song was played today, or if you just thought this was cool, feel free to share this video here today. Share it with any of your music-loving friends or your wider friends and family. Annoy them by saying, hey, my song got played. Listen to this, watch this video. And if you did get some value out of today's show, please hit the like button. That tells me that you like it and that I'll keep coming back and doing it every week because I have a lot of fun. But as you can hear by my voice, I do spend 2 hours talking and I need to rest it pretty soon, which means we are coming towards the end of the show. Reckon we can sneak one in under the bar and then we'll finish with our finale. A finale is usually a good thing to finish with. Let's listen to this track. This one is from Zan Hour, who I'm pretty sure we've heard from before. I've definitely recognized the name. Let's see. This is saying, I've been working on a project for a long time. Oops, starting to play without me wanting it to. I've been working on a project for a long time and would like you to react to my song and give your honest opinion on Your Music Live. Here's the link, and this is from Zan Hour. So this is a tune called Floating from Zan Hour, and we are going to take a listen to it here right now. Oop, it had already started playing. We're going to pause it and go back to the start. And now we're going to listen to it live on Your Music Live. Let's go. cool, mellow, laid-back beat and tones there from Zan Hour with a tune called Floating. That's the sort of stuff, I've said this before, when you've got an instrumental tune like that, that's the sort of stuff that I stick on in the background when I'm sitting down and I'm like doing some work. I like listening to music like that when I'm doing like paying bills or replying to emails or doing the admin stuff or website development, whatever that sort of stuff I have to do that's not music related. If I'm listening to music and it's got lyrics and vocals and it's got a bunch of guitars and stuff, I find myself getting distracted. That is great concentration music. So that will definitely be going into my concentration playlist to help me concentrate. But what do I like about that? Really nice range in there. You had the nice little doodle sounds up the top there. You had some nice sort of lower end stuff, but it didn't just have bass and treble for the sake of it. Everything seemed to be sitting nicely. Really clean sound, really nicely produced, really well mixed. Good balance of everything coming together there. So well done with that one. I enjoyed it, and hopefully you enjoyed it as well. Let's see what folks say. Tom Rochelle, the drums are compressed and mixed extremely well on this very chill track. Yeah. Open Road, the mix sounds good. 1000 Watts, like that song. Tim Osborne, yeah, great beat. Matthias Wong, vibes. Nice vibes, yeah. Metalia, nicely done. Chill, feel, and a great use of keys and effects are great. Amaracia, everything's spot on so far. Drums might be slightly loud, but I feel that that's a choice, so all good. There you go. Excellent stuff. We are coming to the end. I know it's the end, but don't worry, because we've got a big weekend still coming up. I'll tell you all about that in just a moment while I'm queuing up this final song, which is from Jade Star. Of course it is. We've got to have a Jade Star track in our life. So we'll be finishing off with Jade's track titled Truth. And we'll tell you a bit about that just before we jump in there. Thank you, Aramorasea, for the donation on the channel here. Once again, love your work. So what's happening here on the channel over the weekend? Well, this is just the beginning. We, of course, have the home studio Q&A, our live Q&A show. That'll be happening around about this time tomorrow. We then have the happy hour, or should I say the hungry hour. Yes, I went there. All food-related songs. So we've got a bunch of food-related songs that should be a lot of fun. It will be. We're going back to just sort of having a bit of fun. It's our music talk chat show. We play a few songs. We have a laugh. We drink a beverage. That's what the happy hour is all about. And then, of course, Garage Band Weekly will be happening on what is Monday morning for me, Sunday afternoon, evening for most of you. So a heap happening on the weekend. And also, we're continuing on with my Aurea Pro series. So if the hairs are going a bit grayer than they already are, it's because we got a lot going on here on the channel. Plenty keeping me busy over time. And of course I will have a relax because it is the weekend. So don't worry. I'm not burning the candle. I'm not working too hard because a burnt out Pete is going to be no good to anyone. We won't be able to do any of the shows and that won't be good. So I will be relaxing and taking it easy as well. And Jade Star says, I'm opening for the Hungry Hour on my channel doing another weekend jam. There you go. I'm honoured and privileged to have Jade Star opening for me. That should be awfully cool. Speaking of Jade Star, she has sent me this track, and this is from her upcoming project that she's working on that you can find out all about if you head on over to her channel. Jade Star, she's doing her How to App series. She's sharing her music. She's sharing everything that's going on over there. So we're going to finish off. I'll round back right at the end just to say goodbye, but we're going to listen to this. This is a 2.5 minutes, so we're going to watch the whole thing. This is Jade Star with a preview of Truth from her upcoming Jade Star Dread Circus release. Let's take a listen.
Justify the greed and endless overbreeding. When 3/4
There you go. The Truth. Jade Star. Please go and check out all of Jade's tunes over on her channel. And again, her How to App series. If you want to know how she creates videos like that, how she creates music like that, then the How to App series is where you want to go. She's dropping truth bombs, not only about the world, but about creation, because creation is the answer. 42 may be the answer to some things, but creating, recording, and releasing music is the answer to others. Sorry, I turned a nice message into shameless self-promotion. It's how I roll. But thank you for that. Let's just have a quick check-in with folks. Greg Hernandez, like the always streaming. Yeah, some epic rhymes in there. Gary Hubbs hanging on every word. Tony DeFries, oh golly, that's good. Absolutely. Tim Osborne, really like this track. Great guitars, big meaning in this. Yeah. Tom Rochelle, brilliant work as usual. Jade, super important, honest message everyone should hear. Sion, man, I should have added my recent release. You totally should have, Sion. I was just saying, I was playing, I didn't see you sneak in there, but yeah, definitely need to play one of your tracks on a future show. SM Borthwick, great track, powerful message, great production. Italian 58, great song, Jade, top production as usual. Patrick Chandler, way to finish the show. So many great tunes tonight. Stu Cash, brilliant. Scott, awesome. Yeah. Absolutely, and I wanted to. I hadn't actually watched that video, believe it or not, which is why you can see I hadn't actually liked it. But I have heard that tune before. I've heard Jade play that tune before. It's very, very cool. It's a great song, and I love, if you listen, the chorus, it shows the words on the screen, but it's just the melody in the background. Like, it's next level. Watch it again. Yeah, do yourself a favor, Molly Meldrum again, and watch it again, because you'll pick up on little things in there, musically as well as visually. And that's why it's so cool that we have these mediums. As much as we are distracted by our screens and our digital toys, we can use them for good, not just evil. It's not just for swiping left and right, folks. It's for MIDI note editing. Oh, it's been clearly I've been here too long, so we are going to finish up there because we're right on the 2-hour mark, and I don't want to turn into no pumpkin. So thank you, folks, for being here once again. I hope you can join me on future shows. If you're watching on the replay, don't worry, we love you just as much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know any of the tracks that floated your boat, and if you do want to share a song on a future show, we've still got a bit of a backlog, but we will be back to do this again real soon. Email me, pete@studiolivetoday.com with YML in the subject and a line or two about your tune. Thank you, folks. Signing off for now. Catch you again tomorrow for Home Studio Q&A. Until then, adios amigos. Take care of yourselves and of others. Keep creating. I'll see you real soon. Bye now.